Hi. Hi, guys. It's a bit early. Well, I suppose it depends where you are in the world. Some places it's late, some places it's the morning. It's, really irrelevant. Depends, I suppose, where you're situated. So, things are, I don't know. I just had a, let's say, realization that it's a good thing. Maybe it's time for change, because this platform, this page, or this body was guided on here in, I think it was beginning somewhere early 2021. I think the beginning of 2021. This body was guided on then, for the awakening, and it went through its whole awakening process, and it shared the whole awakening process on here, which is fine at that level, because it was the first big wave of kind of people, on this platform. Wow, there was just no one on here. So I suppose, you were there at the right time to help this. But then you get to a certain level and you outgrow that. It's like anything, you realize there's no one to help. There's only God here anyway. And at the moment, the way the media is, if you're awake, it's pretty much, it is kind of looks like insanity out there, and there's compassion, really compassion. You see stories going around, and you don't participate in it because it doesn't matter who did what, because there's only one here. So if they did wrong, there's just absolute compassion. It's like, oh my gosh, they're going to suffer. So I don't care who did what and who, none of that. It just doesn't resonate. You've outgrown the toxicity and the algorithms and the whole thing. So just looking at what happened now with this whole platform, and I'm like, maybe, you've shared it. And as I say, now it's this, and it doesn't resonate. You don't resonate with, the content at all. And you see what's going on. So apparently out there is not really, because it's a story, and it's only a source. That's what I say. So maybe it's just time to step back and completely disengage from all of it, and allow it just to do whatever, and not put any focus on the so-called, on the Maya, on the play, on the, because it's all not really happening anyway. So yeah, it doesn't, you kind of reached a level where what was done on this platform and what was shared, no, you can't really go any further. So much has been shared, like lots of things. You go through all these phases in the dream, so many different phases in the life. It shared this. I had platforms. I was helping carers at one stage, and then I was helping, I had a platform for PTSD. Then it was here, You never know. Next minute you're on, TikTok. I never would have imagined that. And you're guiding people through the shift. So there's so much content already on here. The pages and playlists, and you've uploaded it. So when people start waking up, they come across it, they go through those stages in their awakening. It's there. You shared like whatever you can share. And you've kind of outgrown it. So yes, I'm just thinking, it's time to, let's see. But scrolling on here is just, when, who knows if they ever get a social media going again, in the dream. If we get someone, actually does a real social media, because it feels, if you feel into the collective, I think there's a huge need. This is why the man that started TikTok, he obviously hit that algorithm. The need, he knew. He intuitively knew there was a group. There's such a need at the moment. If the government could even grasp how desperately people really need social media. They need to be able to interact with each other, uplift, share people. Don't try and sell them and control them and manipulate them. Allow people to talk. Like they had here, only social media, purely social, where people can actually just get together and share and have groups and group videos and chats. People really are desperate for connection. Anyway, that's what you can sense and you can see, but that's what I say. But what's going on out there is like, wow, it's just doesn't resonate. Scrolling does not resonate whatsoever on any of this. because all you're seeing is distortion, is projection, is suffering, is, you know, it's just, wow, you know, as I say, it's, you've kind of passed that, you know. And as I say, I've shared this and done that and done this, and, you know, lots. So it's maybe some time to have a bit of fun as well, and just, you know, maybe just get back into nature and walk, and, you know, like I do that. Going around cheering up elderly people these days. You know, in the physical. So, I don't know. I was just thinking, I don't think much can be done with this page, and seems to be TikTok has started a new, what's it called, Lemon 8, because I kept getting messages, and then I kept seeing all these videos about people saying also, what the hell's going on? You know, who is this? As I'm saying, a very bizarre way of going about business. Nothing resonates at the moment, you know, because you can see it. You can see so much lack of integrity. You know, you see it. It's really unpleasant. If you look outside now, it's just manipulation, deceit, control, you know, all this kind of, you know, games going on out there in all, you know, areas and levels. It's not nice. And I just think, no, do you need, I don't think any of us need to participate or even get involved or watch it, or, you know, there's just, yes, it's kind of, is it rather switch it all off. Depends, I suppose, if you're on that, if you're involved or not. Just, nah, I don't think so, because you know, there's nobody here. There's only the one, and it's really going, as I say, it's just, well, it's sad to watch. And there's no interest here in getting involved in who did what and any of this behavior. And, you know, as I say, because who? It's just not, you just rather don't want to, it's not nice in any way. The media is not nice. You can't block the, you know, scrolling through you can't even block stuff you don't want to see. So you have to now be fed all this stuff. I tried to block a few of them, and it was just, you cannot, it doesn't even give you the option. So yeah, that's interesting. I don't think it's yeah. Hello. So nice, thank you. It really is sad. I don't really want to, you know, you don't want to take that in. You're seeing it in every way. You can, you know, going on in all levels, because you're not blind. You see all the games going on, and every, you know, who's ever doing it and trying to not whatever. It's just, well, sadness, you know, and it's just not nice. So yeah, I don't know. I think I because to leave the page, seeing this TikTok has, you know, I figured out what all these invites were going on about, and other people are sharing it. So they got bombarded with invites to join TikTok's mother company. Started Lemon 8, which is like a Pinterest, same thing. I mean, you know, competing with each other again, whatever, Instagram thing or whatever, and there's no interest. You know, if we're here. So it's like, what to do? I'm sure there's plenty like-minded people. A lot of us have just found ourselves off media because there really isn't any way. I mean, that's what I'm saying, is there's no social media. Facebook is not. Can't do videos on there either. Here you can't. So it's all become very toxic. It's all spewing, you know, hi, Thomas, all of it. It's just blame, hate, lies, deceit, manipulation, control, well, you know, all of it, or everybody. It's just, wow. Even here, the way, you know, this whole, as I say, this whole thing of getting people on your platform, that's not a way to go about things, you know. I get all these people. I didn't join any platform, and I get all these messages. People want to follow you on there, and I'm like, okay, yeah, because I had so many people trying to hit me up to play as managers and promote my content. I was like, just not interested. Just not interested in any of this sort of stuff. And then I saw all these videos about Lemon 8, and I was like, what are they going on about? So last night I looked it up. You know, went and found out who they were, and then I thought, oh, no wonder why it's related to this. platform. So that was interesting. So, but I just thought that's the way you do it. You just don't take people's things on and then tell them people want to follow you on there. I'm not interested in joining another platform, as I say. At the moment, if you are awake, it depends where you are, it's a lot of unawakened content. That's all it is. So it's it's a lot of very unawakened content. I mean, but it doesn't, that. So there's no beef. Some of it, just that very sweet people that are sort of awake, and some content is just, wow, are very unconscious content. But you also know it's just the one, you know what I mean? And I just don't want to participate in this sad play that's being portrayed out there anymore. It's very bizarre and unpleasant on any level, as you can see. A lot of people are feeling that way. People are really just want to connect. It's a time to unite people now, actually. Now is a time when people really need social media, really looking for that unity. And we can't, there's just nowhere. Where can we even, So yeah, to get together and chat, just like hi and share, like us, like-minded people want to chat and talk about whatever. And just that sort of thing would be nice, yes. A lot of us is like connection. It's like talking about all this or sharing or just general. But the reason why this whole page was started, it's shared all of those phases of the awakening and the mind, and that's fun. I saw someone yesterday actually worried, on this path, and they were starting this and they were getting really concerned. They didn't know what was going on with them. And I just got tired. I thought, I'm not going to jump in. They'll get it. It's the mind. They're going through the mind, where they start working through all the mind and all its programs and its karmic things. And, you start seeing, wow, it's not a fun part when it starts focusing on the mind itself. And then you really get to see some, woo. So I saw someone there, they thought they were going a bit crazy. And I thought, oopsie, they're going through that. And I know that's not towards the end of this is what seems to be happening in this so-called new earth thing. Towards the end of your awakening, it starts working, purifying the mind. That is not it lasts about a year or two, but it is quite revealing. Wow. Anyway, that's just what happened. So just be aware if you haven't had that yet. It starts highlighting all of that. It was like, wow, okay. You get to see some things. So yes, I don't know, peeps. I don't know what we're going to do. I feel there's a lot of compassion here, because you can see the need. You can see there's such a disconnect. There's such a need for people. They're just so fed up with what's going on out there. And they're desperately, that's why people are getting more upset, because they really want connection. There's a desperate need for people to connect one-on-one, unity, because otherwise you will feel out, because it is out of alignment with what you are. So you're seeing this whole disruption. And you can see it, I know, and you feel it. It's sad. You can intuitive that, you can tell. And this is why there's such upheaval out there, because people know this is their side of alignment. This whole thing has gone a bit wonky. And even the poor governments. I mean, you look at them and you think, oh, you really need to get your stuff in order. You know what I mean? Because it's like any leadership. You are supposed to set the example. How can you be preaching to people, your leadership, government, when it's more like the circus, you know what I mean? And inside all the stuff's coming, as I'm saying, it's just, wow, it's wow. Everything that's going on, you're like looking at all of this, if you're awake, and you're like, wow, all right. And you have sympathy for them. Because you can imagine you're trying to still manage things, and I mean, your own department is completely needs an overhaul in a major way, and the whole structure needs to change. The way you do government and the way you set it up, everything, you can see that. And you don't want to sit here and preach, and there's only one here. So here, I don't know about you guys, but here, trust, as I say, there's only the divine here. You know that. And it's like a dance. There's nothing really going to happen. It's trust that it's going to do its thing. You know, you can't sit up there and guide the government. I mean, hello, you know, you would love to, like, hey, please, you seriously see all this and you really want to, you know, help people and say, look, you know, you can't. So we can just rather take our focus off it, I think. This is just what I feel. It's not benefiting us. It's not going to change, you know, whatever dance they, you know, playing and comic things they entangled and whatever's going on over there. It's got nothing to do with us, because literally there's no out there and the world's not really, it's not really happening actually, truly. You can just, none of it's true or real at all, actually. So you'd benefit yourselves more by completely withdrawing from everything and quieting the mind and realizing there's not even a world out there to worry about. Literally, I'm not joking about this. This is why I just thought, oh, you know what? Because I'm not being funny, but you know this because you've seen it. So if you're scrolling and you're taking part in the Maya, you're getting involved in an illusionary world which really isn't out there. I'm not joking about this. I know this sounds bizarre, but if you actually wake up and see the truth, as they tell you, there's only this. There's no actual, you know, the mind is forming it as it goes. It's like, wow, instant manifestation. So, you know, wow. Let you know, whatever they're entangled in and karmic entanglements or whatever they've got, there's just so much love and compassion. And that's why I say, you realize who you're watching suffering and fighting and, just doing to each other, and some of the ideas, you know, it's sad when you see, you just think how lost it, you know, it all is. Yes, that's what I say, Thomas. I don't think observe anymore either. You see, this is what I'm feeling, because you understand, you're observing, first of all, an illusion. It's not happening. It's distortion, because it really isn't. If you quieten the mind and the thoughts, you'll see really there's nothing there. I'm not joking, people. So it won't break your heart. That's what I'm saying. It's the mind. So when the mind stops, the Maya falls away. That's what I'm saying. What you are seeing is distortions. Out there is the mind. I'm not joking. These are programs. So that's what makes the movie. But when you stop the movie within the self, there is no world out there. Literally, you'll be dancing and laughing and not even worried, because you realize there's nobody out there either. This is what I've been trying to tell people. What you are seeing, and really, I'm not joking, is the mind itself. This is why you see this, and this is why you're sad. Because you realize it's source stuck in its own movie. Whatever it's got inside here, the programs, and this is what you've been preaching. Please don't feed people this shit, because this is that's the projector. Whatever you're putting into the projector is what is coming out. So if you think the world's doomed, well, there we are. You know, it's a movie you're gonna be watching. Anyway, that's why I say, people, I don't think it's benefiting us to even watch it. I'm not being funny. There's no need to, not joking. It's not going to change anything. There is no need to absorb that content. Really, there is no need. If we can do good, great. But there's a loss here, because, you know, you can't really go and consult the government and tell them, wow, you really need to change some things here, because, you know, you can see where everyone's just hurting it. You're like, oh, you're like, oh, this is just, it's like, it's beyond. It's beyond, yeah. You realize, okay, this is a divine play, and it is really puppeteering all the puppets. It's already planned out. I'm not joking, but every single, when you realize, when you drop this, you'll see the body just goes on by itself. So each avatar is programmed to do exactly what it's going to do until it leaves the body. Each puppet, I'm not joking, it's already done. You are doing nothing. There's no you. There's nobody in the body controlling diddly squat. This has been seen, as a lot of awakened people will tell you. I mean, you're literally watching the body. It's just carrying on. So, as I say, the program here, the character, its things will carry on without, because it really is, there's no body in control. So I say the mind, the chatter, is program. Nobody's there. No one's home. It's just and this is what's making the movie. This is why it's it's a horror story in a way. This is what you're trying to tell people. Stop this media. Stop, showing the worst and the most. Well, anyway, that's wasting your time. Because also you realize there's no one out there you're talking to, you know what I mean? It's a self. There's nobody. You're playing with yourself, literally. So you're just talking to, it's just like, hey, you're just chasing your tail. So yeah, I don't. Yeah, yeah, of course. But that's for the mind. That's why the Buddha's always said the mind creates the Maya. So that's why they say, watch what you feed it. I mean, hello. Well, I mean, tell any media that. That's what I'm saying. I don't think being on media at all. Most people I've spoken to have completely don't engage in it. They don't. They've quit a lot of media. They don't scroll like this one. I mean, I've tried to, and I kept refreshing the feeds. You can realize you're not going to the algorithms are going to do what it wants to do. You have no preferences. When there's maybe one day when there's free choice again about what you'd like to watch, and you can choose the content you would like to, that would be nice. Free will, everyone could actually choose. I would like to see this kind of content. I really don't want to participate in the doom and horror movies and other stuff program, pulling the mind full of violence and shit and yeah, not a good idea. If you want to change the movie, it's not a good idea. We know that. So yeah, maybe, who knows, we get social media and you can choose your content, really select and that's what you would like to watch, and you're not fed, whatever. Yeah. Yeah. Yes, I know. And that's what I'm saying. You see, even that, you realize, wow, where you force-fed content, you can't delete content. That's what I'm saying. You see where there's a lack of, it just doesn't resonate, That kind of behavior, forcing it on people, what they can watch, what you don't want to, like trying to manipulate, coerce people like onto another platform or whatever. It doesn't gel. So, but then there's a lot of us out there want to connect, because this is why I'm asking, and I'm also sharing this. There's a lot of awakened people on this, or fair enough awake, right? You basically, if you know this journey, especially if you, I don't know why, on this new path, on this whole shift of the new earth thing, you found yourself like completely pulled apart, done your dark night, your whole thing, whatever, all of that stuff. And then, as I say, the mind, the body, cleansing and this and that. And wow, you've gone to the ringer. So you find yourself isolated for years. You found yourself, yeah, exactly, being alone or living alone. So a lot of us still are, just haven't come across anybody. Can't complain. I mean, not young, but it would be nice to have a partner in your life. But if it happens, it happens. Who knows? That's what I say. If it's programmed into this avatar's, story, literally everything is already set. Here's what I'm saying. There's no you. That mind stops working. You'll be amazed. You'll see everything just carries on without a la 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 la. It will still happen. It's going to happen. So if this body's going to meet someone or whatever, but it really feels like, yeah, yeah. It would have, you've done this age, just speaking for the self, yeah? This body's done a lot. And it's also done a lot to try and assist others, help others in so many ways and different things. It's just done that. It's a pattern that's been going on forever. Who knows? No matter what it's been in and what job it's been in, it's always tried to make things better, uplift people, who knows? It just does that. But now it's also, hello, it would be like, it's not about all giving also all the time. It's given and given and given and given. And enjoyed it. I'm not saying this was like a sacrosanct sacrifice. It was guided on you, and it loved it. It really enjoyed this couple of years here and sharing and helping and guiding people through the shift. It loved it, really loved it. But it's that energy, obviously it's time to change. That energy it's not there anymore. So it's shift. That's why I think it's time for a change. It doesn't resonate anymore. I think we've shifted past that stage. And there's no one to say it. It's just outgrown it or something. So this whole thing of trying to help people and all that, everything that needs to be shared is already there. And if there's anything that does it, will just come out and do it anyway. But yeah, it doesn't resonate anymore. You know, each avatar is guided, and it's guided. You've seen it with, I mean, it's been seen, and there's no like fooling. I know there's nothing in the bodies. I've seen it. You know what's going on. You know the bodies are on their own acting. There's no one in there, and you know the mind they're listening to is the Maya, is the program story game, is to realize, overcome the blah, and it's like another level. Let's play in the movie, the Maya. You know, when you wake up, you can also go through the dark realms, the really low astrals, the scary ones. A lot of people don't overcome their shadow. They're too scared. So that's a level. You overcome that, you shift up. But now this is another one, just to the mind. That reinforces, as Bashar says, it reinforces itself. That illusion of a separate character, me, and I've got a life, and my name is this, and I was born, and the whole shit, the whole thing. When you were born, your name, all your whole life story is absolute program. There's nobody there. It's the illusion. So, but it doesn't. This is the next level. It does not go quietly into the mist, though. Just understand that one. It will keep, and it'll try, and it makes a noise. As soon as you see it, it realizes it's losing its grip. It starts getting busy again. It tries to, you know what I mean? It tries to reinforce it. That's how it does. You see, you've got to it's like, so yeah, that's what they say. It's when you realize yourself as the soul, as the God source, it. But let me tell you, you got to stick at it, people. Absolutely ignore the thoughts, whatever it tries to tell you. Ignore the fact, because it's going to try and get you to do something and take action, and a thought of this and shop, any thought that you must do something, that there's a person here, like you shopping, my sister, my mother, my whatever, tomorrow, whatever it says, has got to be ignored, because then you're saying there is a separate person, you see. The only thing are the thoughts that are, you know what I mean? But if it really makes you believe that there is a you that has to do something, there's a separate person. And that if you can stick it out and not listen to it at all, and just know that the body, it's true, the body really will do it. But it doesn't go quietly into the night sometimes. It can put up quite a bit of, because that's the whole thing. It's like the next level. You've got to overcome that. It resists its little demise. It will try and, it tries to hang on to its illusionary fact. But if you stick it out and it breaks, wow. It can take sometimes, it depends how really rigid you are. Then you will really see. Then you'll realize, oh my shit, there's nobody here. But it's like that. It's like the lower astrals, overcoming that, pushing through that fear and that whole resistance to, overcome all those lower realms and things. It's a similar thing. So this is like, I suppose, when you get to that, as they call that veil, that final, that level, that thin, the border boundary. That's like the boundary to the next level, is to overcome the fact, no, whatever that mind says, any thought, you just ignore it. It's talking about someone who doesn't exist. The body, this is where it tries to fool you, because you think, well, if I don't listen, what's going to happen? Who's going to do my groceries? You think if you don't do what the thoughts say, that the shopping won't happen, that things won't, it won't happen. It will happen. Whatever the body's meant to do and whatever is going to happen, it will absolutely happen. But this is how. You got to stick at it and have, and you'll watch the body. Then you'll start even seeing the body will start doing its thing. You won't be doing it. There won't be. That's what I'm saying. It'll start revealing to you that there was never anybody in the body. You see. Anyway, just yeah, I don't know. So there's like a. Maybe I'm at a loss. I don't know what, but you guys, there's someone here. But it would, maybe we should, like, I don't know, give me some ideas, peeps. It would be nice to connect. There's some lovely people I still want to stay in contact with. So maybe we can do like a once a month, like, live, just a chat, just to, or do some lives together, or Zooms, or I'm not sure where, and it doesn't really matter. But where can we, like, because I don't really want to scroll. That you can have. I'm kind of just given up on that one now, because no matter how I've tried and refreshed and whatever myself it's not gonna happen. You're not gonna change there. Just let them do it, whatever they're going to work through, whatever. So social media is, you just don't want to be on it. Media, you just don't want to be on it. Sad. Really, when a time when people really want and need connection. So, yeah. WhatsApp group, yeah. There's I suppose the same thing as all this. But at least you don't have all that, yeah. Yeah, we can do a WhatsApp group. Or as I'm saying, it's a pity, they need. This is what I liked about the original TikTok. Except a lot of them made one mistake, that you had to have 1,000 followers to, like, chat. Where Zoom, everyone can ask questions and jump in. This needs to be interactive. So, like this thing, a lot of times, even when I've been on here, all these years, I've been on helping people. People want to ask me questions, and they haven't got time. I can't type. You can't have a conversation. There's things they get stuck with, and they need guidance. They wanted guidance or help, and it would have been such a blessing if all they could have done is just pushed. I could let them in on the live for 10 minutes, and they can ask, and you can clear up their questions. That's what I'm saying. A real question and answers. Instead of having to try and, get your comments, make a comment, and, you can't ask someone. This is what I'm saying. Proper interactive social media where people can actually chat and get, and debate and, like, all this stuff, about what's going on. People can start connecting and talking about it and sharing ideas and, whatever. It really also helps diffuse the energy of all the, But it's just like... sad. It's just, unconscious greed and behavior of, that's what I'm saying. You see this whole idea of when you let businesses and things get too big, to monopoly, and get too powerful. It's just greed and, as you say, the behaviors. Best just to pull the plug. And I think they're going to have to realize that sooner or later, because they think, these businesses, now you've got to stop coying to them. I think you might have to, the governments, if they want to govern, they need to govern. Somewhere along the line, they're going to have to pull the plug on some of these businesses and just change the business laws or something, because this little experiment didn't work too well, as they noticed, So just, you've got some companies, as I say, can be very destructive. Anyway, that's just, let them sort that out. There's just love and compassion here, wow, for this sad affairs of behavior that you're seeing going on. I mean, everywhere. It's just, wow. Best not to. So there we are. That's the only advice I can give anybody. Also for the self, for the frequency, for everything, is to really disengage from all of it. For your own frequency, your own vibration, rather send light to these, platforms, or let's say governments and all these people, is to send a huge amount of light to them, because that's the best we can actually do, is send them light, to help with all of this. Nothing else. And I don't think, because I've been doing this for a while, scrolling is going to help in any way on any platform, because you are seeing it. Yes, you don't have to get upset about it, because I say, but it is like, wow, the mind. And remember, it's also like a picture. It's a movie. It's absorbing all of this. It's still watching it. It's still capturing it all. You watch it. When you go to sleep, you can watch it going chick, 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 chick. So the mind is like and they know this, the mind is like literally a computer. It is screening everything, screenshotting it, taking everything you observe, everything that's seen here is going in. See, it just reinforces the illusion of the Maya anyway. And you don't have to get emotionally dragged into it. I mean, you can see, there'll be sadness, but you're not gonna be triggered by all the disasters going on out there and the sort of behavior, because you also know it's not, and it's pictures, it's distortions of the mind you're seeing projected out there in the movies. So you're just watching other people's movies, in other words, dreams. Really, what you're watching is a dream others are having, and it's entangled. Yeah, yes, it isn't. I know that. So you know that. You don't. So I think this page has got to a dead end. Because what it was like lots of things it's done, it's been guided to do that, and that was for a few years, and it did a lot of stuff, and then it moved off that platform, and it started this. Its body's done some interesting things. Wow. But also, yeah, I think it's time to put in here. Definitely not going to be trying any dating sites, that's for sure. No. If anyone's tried that, I cannot recommend it. Sorry, you can have a laugh. We did it a few years ago, and it was like, not a good idea, especially when we have a giant purge going on, that's what I say. But maybe a puppy or a partner, companion even, an awakened companion. You can, share time, as I say, it would be nice. It would be very nice, yes. Because like all of us, some of us have been completely isolated, like alone for many years now. This one's been alone for many years. So like now, yes, I mean, I get out and, with my exercise and meet people, and as I say, always happy and friendly and whatever. But a puppy and a companion, yes, a dog even would be fine. Instead of the companion, we can do the dog instead, yeah. Yes, I know. Yeah, now you're 60-something, I think a dog would be lovely. Yes, a puppy would be such a lovely companion. And get this one, give you something to do, spend time with, okay, I'll take the dog for a walk, whatever else, I also think it's enough now. If you've poured in this lifetime, it's poured in a huge amount of assistance to a lot of people in many different things. I was doing carers at one stage for a few years and did a lot of help there and contracts for them and whatever. And so it's time to pour in here, for sure, absolutely. And I don't think, as I say, it's like, wow, what's needed to be shared here, I think it's done. Especially on that level, as many others waking up and they're going through theirs, and then, that's how it works. Many others can follow them. So I don't think guiding anyone on the awakening anymore is necessary. Consulting the government or any of these people. So that I'm saying, interesting today, I was talking to someone about this thing I was saying as well. If someone's not awake, they're not even aware of their behavior. So you can't, it's what I'm saying, they're really unaware of what they're doing. So it's not, even trying to tell them you can't, because they just don't get it. I mean, they're not going to see, they're not conscious, self-aware yet of their own thoughts and their own things, patterns. But you've got to have that level of consciousness, a step away from the mind. They're not, seeing it. They haven't started their awakening. You've been there yourself when you were unconscious. Yeah, exactly. You talking to someone who's unawakened, they are so in the mind and in that reactive pattern. So there's like, I really think, as much as you would love to help, I mean, it's just in this nature. You'd be happy anyway if someone asked to help or consult anyone, the government, whatever, all this social media, whatever, anyone out there with some money that's got any common sense, please make a social media platform or whatever. You can see what's needed, but it's like, it's someone that's going to be willing to do some better to help them, but not for, it's all about profit. It's whatever, wow, so I say, wow. You see this little experiment of theirs, this little capitalist experiment went completely wonky. Willy Wonka. Thank you, Willy Wonka. Just love that name. Thank you. Oh, no. You're looking at the filter. Older than you think. Funny enough, that was such an important thing, you know. Wow, you look back, even that. It was such an important thing, the looks here and the body. Oh, my gosh. Now it's like out the window. I think it does need to spend a bit more time on that, actually, though. On the health and the body. It's gone a bit south. But at, 62 something, it's like, hey, whatever, But thank you. Truly, even dating is like, hey, there might be one. Who knows? You're never too old, as they say. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, puppy. I would be nice. I'm being funny, but really, I think a puppy or a companion would be really nice. Thank you. Yes, that is true. There is a lot of, but that was asked. You see, that was sought and that was asked. Kindness, love, and compassion always. You see, that was always asked for and sought. And this, whatever happened, that was always a choice here: to forgive and choose the higher. To forgive, choose the higher. That's just. There's a lot of love and compassion and kindness, yes, huge. But it also has to, but good thing now it's got boundaries. When it wasn't awake, it didn't have a nose. And that wasn't good. There was no boundaries there. It was that was the lessons. That was in this program, in this character story, yes. Went another, absolutely, yeah. That's what I say. This is what it is a difficult. You can still have love and compassion and kindness, but it doesn't get, thank goodness you're at that level where you understand what you're seeing, so that you don't get dragged into it and upset and horrified by any of it, any of the story, the pictures, the illusion, because it's not even happening. So, yeah, thank goodness. That is a lot of work to get there, though. Yes, it is, isn't it? Well, there's no time. It's another thing. It's so bizarre. Who knows? The body's still here. That's amazing. I mean, what this poor body, as I'm saying at the moment, actually, this body, it's yes, I know. The knees, especially the left knee, even now and then it's swollen. It's sore. It's like red and inflamed and swollen sometimes. So I'm getting a bit of swelling in the knees. But then, as I say, if this poor body, in the story, what this body went through, wow, really a lot of shit. Yes, of course you can. That's what I'm saying. But I don't think we're going to be doing it anymore, Willy Wonka. What we're doing, we're just discussing that, as I think we've outgrown this and the whatever the purpose for this body that it came on here to create. There was a reason why, and it's kind of come to an end of that. We don't resonate with this at all, any of the media and this platform. And what was needed, whatever the purpose of this sharing was to guide people through the shift that has been done. It's got to a level now where, anyways, I say that the body's still here is like, wow. I mean, the poor health and both the knees, this on the right knee completely tore its cartilage. So funny enough, that one isn't bothering me as much. They were a bit sore the other day both, but this one is, the left one is more sore now. I don't know why. And then the left knee was a car accident when I was younger. Someone drove into never mind. Well, and I hurt my knee in the accident. So that, then the spine. Oh, can go on, people. That's okay for now, as long as I didn't put it out. The spine was damaged. Wow. Anyway, and the body did die. It's amazing. That's why you can laugh. You think, well, the body died when I was 58. I had a heart failure, like seriously, heart attack, and gone. So the body died. It's had both the knees are damaged. Anyway, it's fine. It's doing well. All laughing at all of this stuff. Yeah, seriously. The spine was like, wow, that one, I really, yeah, compacted the spine, crushed the vertebrae, and shoved that thing out. I mean, the liver, yeah, it's been through the malaria, resilient malaria, this, that. I mean, what it hasn't, so I say, it's amazing. It's amazing. And look, you know, so there we are. It has its little, you know, so it's still alive. That is like, wow, you know, it's done a lot of good, which is lovely. I'm very happy. Whatever the program that was installed, yeah, wow, did it go through the ringer. But it overcame, and it always chose forgiveness, love, peace, forgiveness, love, peace, and walk away, you know, the other cheek always. So you look back and you think, the other day I was looking back and looking at the so-called story of this avatar and all it's done and what it went through and its death and everything, you know, and you're like, well, you know what, I'm bloody proud of it. And how it, you know, and its whole, as I say, this path that it's been through, oh, bloody heck. Wow. Yeah. A puppy or, as I say, a partner would be really nice. Wow, wouldn't it be lovely? But anyway. Definitely not going to be joining any toxic media. Is just like, no. No. In any way, anyone that's awake can see the toxicity and the dysfunction out there is like, wow. Maybe not. Definitely not, actually. Definitely not. But yeah, it would be so nice to have sometimes, is it like anyone, I think all of you out there, we want to chat sometimes. And, you know, this is such a need out there. I really have empathy for all, because they so desperately want connection and they're just not getting it from any media at the moment. Wow. It's like they've just lost the plot. They're just not, no one's creating to the people. They're not seeing that desperate lack and need for connection and unity that is there. They could do so much healing on the planet. Oof. Not getting it though. So yeah, I think it's time. You know this, you know, sources here. You know, whatever it's programmed into each body, they're just going to go on like little robots, and they're going to do their little whatever games and whatever it's going to play out here. Yeah. I can't do lives on Facebook because the sound is distorted. Scrolling on there is also like, you know, it's no social media. So I say nothing social anymore. If I came on here, it was just to the people you were following, but even that now is polluted with other content. They've polluted your following list. So that's like, I used to avoid the For You page and only try and do the following of friends. Even that's now like, So, you know, it's like, so yeah, let's think about something. Maybe I'll make another one again, but think about it, people. Anyone on here that wants to connect, let me know, please. We can do it on a different level, because I think there's quite a few of you out there that would be so nice. We can just chat, like just be there for each other, like, yeah, support, chat, because here doesn't allow people to, like, I'd like to have conversations where people can join, you know, and like a Zoom, like you can do a Zoom or WhatsApp, where you can actually have, you know, group calls or group video or whatever. So some kind of group video or group chat, yes. Where we can stay in contact. We can share, as I say, you know, we can talk about it about all the, yeah, because you see, it's a self. So even that you can't, as I'm saying, there is so much sympathy when you realize there's nobody out there, you know, it's the one, yeah. It's only the self, you know what I mean? It's so very bizarre. But we can at least share without being involved in all the toxicity, because and I mean that, the energy alone on these platforms is now, wow. And the behavior is like, no, you know, you don't want to resonate, and you don't resonate with it. Any of this kind of behavior, it doesn't resonate. Yeah. like as I say, these, well, yeah, it does no any kind of coercion, manipulation, control, all this other stuff going on out there is just not nice in any way. And I really don't think we need to focus on it. Definitely, as you know, it doesn't do anything. No good, like absolutely no good. It comes out of focusing on it. By just being observer, even that doesn't, because the mind is absorbing. So it just keeps on giving you more of the. So I think complete detox of media. So how are we going to connect? How are we going to work this out? That's what I was trying to think now. Sure. I don't know. How are we going to how are we going to form a group or whatever? Zoom. Some of you I can't. Just check that I'm able to message some of you, because some of you also have your accounts private or whatever else, and the way you set your accounts up, you can't message people. So just make sure then, if you want to, we can make a group, because I'm very happy to come on here and do weekly chats, but I can't talk to anyone. I don't want to talk to myself, and then all you can do is send me a message and one line or 2-3 lines. I got to read it. That's not a conversation. We want to have more interactive conversations. So at least WhatsApp, you've got voice messages and you can video. I'm sure we can also do chats, voice chats or group calls or in the UK. In the UK. Yes. Well, that's what I'm saying. We can arrange it. Okay, where are you in the okay? Are you in Cornwall? Oh, hello. Okay, that's lovely. There we are. All right, where are you? Mama Bacon, you in the US? Hey, whereabouts are you in the US? Okay, you're in the south. I'm in the north of the UK. I'm right up in the north. That's what I say. A puppy might be the option. I don't know. I don't think actually there are more awakened people. They are waking up. A lot of work was done in this area to wake people up, let me tell you. A lot of energy work and light work and grid work was done in this area a few years ago. And it worked because a lot of people started waking up. So there's a lot on the journey when there was nobody. I was like, wow. So yeah, you can see that. But I don't know how many. I just don't. I'm not, I suppose at our age, where you're going to meet them. Yeah, anyway. Are you in Arizona? Oh, lovely. Wow, what a lovely place. Not anymore. No, not anymore. Very, very seldom that they will be there. It's just stuff clearing the mind. Then we don't pay too much attention to the mind and its stories. So it's, no. It tends to try and make a noise there sometimes. It gets quite busy. Just whatever. No. It's never been a thing really here. No. All right, I know there's some other people. That would be, that's what I'm saying. It's so sad because you see this and you think, what's wrong with these people? But as you see, they're looking for money, if that's what your whole aim is. But look at TikTok. Why did they even buy TikTok? Why? It was absolute social media. And it was the biggest platform on the planet. Now, that doesn't say anything to you. Perfect. They had a perfect recipe, perfect algorithms. TikTok was only social media. What happens? Hostile takeover. Poof. Off. What's gone? Now it's commercial media or whatever. It's not. Heart, I think more. No, we don't really know. I mean, you've got obviously the intellect and things like that, yes. Depends on what it is, but we don't use it, no. We don't listen to it, put it that way. It's sad, that's what I'm saying. If you can see it, if you watch it from all levels, even from their level, I know that you see that I've seen some of the things the governments are saying as well, and you feel sorry for them. As I'm saying, you've got to understand, they can only, as they say, perceive whatever frequency you're at. When someone's not awake, they do not have access to that information, knowledge, or understanding. It's like trying to tell someone, like point out they cannot, literally they can't hear you. It literally goes over their head. So it's just like, it's really shouting to a brick wall. Well, that's what I'm saying. This is a perception. I know that. This is why this body was guided on here, pushed the big, it was a huge wave. But don't worry, they're still awake and they're out there sharing. See, this is what I say. This is illusion of perception. If you look at media, this is what I was trying to tell you today, it's not healthy. If you look at media, all media is only well, it's obvious, is only showing you the worst, the doom, the gloom, the whatever, because they're unawake too. This is what you see, what they are seeing. This is a perception that is there. It's in the shadow. So all you're seeing, the mind, they're having nightmares. And this is what I'm saying. That's why it looks like, whoo, out there. Whoo. It's not edit. Well, it's God having a nightmare. Yeah, it's just, wow, yeah, it's so, yeah, well, but it's funny. I don't know, it's a kind of paradox, because there is love and compassion. You think, wow, you could just tell them, you could just stop it, and you can't, you know that yourself. You know that they have to work through that puzzle, whatever puzzle that avatar body's programmed with. That's the puzzle they've got to, weave it out. Yes, exactly. No, I know, it seems, but understand, unless you've cleared all your shadows and your trauma and you've done all that level, that's what I'm saying, you can't. You know that. If you haven't done them, there's a loop, there's a reactive loop, and it's just pew, 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 pew. And that's what you're seeing. They're in those mind loops, and those vortexes are very dense, because it hasn't loosened there. Yeah. Yes. I know, that's why I say, you look out there and say, can't you just be nice to each other? Why is it so hard? But if you're not wired like that, it's like, wow. There's also compassion, realizing if that one is behaving so badly, could you imagine the program and the upbringing or the suffering it went through? Wow. Okay, source choosing, no one's really here suffering, but the suffering is still experienced. So you see there's this dysfunction going out there, and you realize what kind of home they came from. That's sad. That's really sad. That's why I say, when you see all this going out there, you think, wow, the story, all that is coming out. It's like so sad. All that to say, the shadow, the dark night of the soul is all loud out there. So, all right, peeps, think of something. Because social would be really nice. Interaction would be very nice. So I'll make a post on the page. I'll make a post on my page, and maybe the best is to comment under the post, those that actually are quite keen to stay in touch, and we can just chat and we can share, yeah, we can share. Maybe sometimes you just want to share what, whatever, who knows. There's no such thing as incapable of fixing it. It fixes in its own time. There's nobody, I know. You know, I often used to talking about that. You have my sympathy, Willy Wonka, because I tell you what, um, the opposite was here. Oh, yes, I know that, but I mean, yeah, there's no. But in the story here, this is one thing. This one always sought, it sought that partner that, had a complete different life there, but that's what I say. The picket fence, the life, that normal life that everyone had, this one did not have anything like that. Some, it went in a very different trajectory. But anyway, you saw the other people, grew up and had married and children and husbands and had a normal life. This one would love to have had a normal partner, someone there for its life. But then in the end, when you were older and you realized, okay, so you didn't find that, you didn't find a Mr. whatever partner. Now you know, there's no Mr. anyway, there's only yourself, but there's no one out there. But still, in the story, you think, wow, when you see couples, yes, it's lovely to see couples holding hands and, and happy. You think, oh, it's so lovely.